In this video, what are the things you are going to learn? 1. How to feed fingernails or juvenile to table size. 2. The amount of feed required to feed 1,000 fingernails or juvenile to obtain 1,000 kg in 5 to 6 months. 3. The number of bags of feed required. 4. The breakdown of the bags into the various months for the 6 months. Now let's dive in. If you have not yet follow, subscribe or like our video, please do, so that we will be encouraged to produce more of these videos. Now let's go into the topic proper now. For you to obtain 1 kg of fish, the fish also need to be fed with 1 kg of what? Feed. What that simply means is that 1 kg to 1 what? Kg. That's 1 kg of feed to 1 kg of table size of catfish. That is what we refer to as the food conversion ratio. But we are going to break it down into 2 parts. The standard calculation and in most cases. In the standard calculation, which is the first part of this teaching, is that for you to obtain 1 kg of table size, you need to fill the catfish with 1 kg of feed. Now, for 1,000 fingernail or juvenile to obtain 1,000 kg or 1 ton in 6 months, you need to feed the fish with 1,000 kg of the feed. So 1 bag of the feed is equal to 15 kg. So S bags will be equal to 1,000 kg. So 1 bag of the feed is equal to 15 kg equal to X bag equal to 1,000 kg. So 15x is equal to 1,000 kg. So when you do this very simple calculation, you will now use 15 to divide what? 1,000. So at the end of the day, you will be having 67 bags. 67 bags of that very feed. So 67 bag is required to feed 1,000 fingernail or juvenile in 6 months to obtain 1,000 kg. In this second part of our teaching, we are going to look at some reality. So, in the standard calculation, you need 1 kg of the feed to obtain 1 kg of the catfish in 5 to 6 months. But in most cases, you will need 1.2 kg to obtain 1 kg of the catfish table size. So by so doing, if you need 1.2 kg to obtain 1 kg, it means that for you to obtain 1,000 kg of the catfish, which is to the table size, you will need 1,200 kg of the feed to obtain that 1 kg, 1,000 kg. So 1 bag of the feed is equal to 15 kg. So S bags will be equal to 1,200 kg. So when you divide 1,200 by 15, you will obtain 80 bags. So in most cases, you will make preparation for 80 bags for you to obtain 1,000 kg from 1,000 fingernail or juvenile when you are making preparation for your feed. So by so doing now, when you look at both now, the standard and in most cases, how many bags should you actually prepare for? So let's take the average. When you take the average of 67 bags and 80 bags, you will have 73.5 kg. How did I arrive at that? That is 80 plus 67 will give you 147. So when you divide 147 by 2, you will have 73.5, which means that you need 74 bags to raise 1,000 fingernail to what? To table size in 5 to 6 months. So if you have this kind of calculation in mind, you will not be afraid to start your catfish farm. Now that we have had this very understanding of the standard, that is the food conversion ratio of the standard and that of most cases, we know now that in the standard we need 67 bags, and in most cases we need 18 bags. So if you have been following, you know how we arrive at this figure, and the average, whereby we took the average to be 75 bags. So now what we should now understand is that how do you now feed this fish with these very bags of feed? In feed, we have different sizes. We have 1.5 mm, 2 mm, 3 mm, 4 mm, 6 mm, and 9 mm, depending on the company that is producing them. There are some companies that have 7 mm and 8 mm. They don't have what? 9 mm. So you have to still know the kind of feed or the company you are choosing from. And also in feed, we have both the local feed and the what? The foreign feed. But when we get to that very stage in this teaching, I'm going to analyze how you can combine both the local and the foreign feed together. Now, let's look at the breakdown proper now. When you are being given this figure now of 67 kg, 67 bags, let's look at the breakdown properly now. 2 bags of 2 mm, 4 bags of 3 mm, 11 bags of 4 mm, 30 bags of 6 mm, and 20 bags of 9 mm. If you sum up this together, you have 67 bags. How do you now use these bags per month when you are being given? If you are given this very 1,000 fingernail or juvenile, in the first month to the second month, you use 2 mm. It means that you will use 2 bags of these 2 mm. In the third month, you will use 4 bags of 3 mm. While in the fourth month, this is when the feed of the fish will increase. You will use 11 bags of 4 mm for the fourth month. You will use 30 bags of 6 mm in the fifth month, and you will use 20 bags of 9 mm in the 6 months. And by the time you are using this 9 mm in the 6 months, they are ready to go. But there is something you must understand here, that when they supply you this fingernail or juvenile, they are not all equal in size. They are not all equal in size. So don't start with the 2 mm. Start with 1.5 mm or 1.8 mm. So 1.5 mm, you can get it from what? Coupons. And why you get 1.8 mm from scrutiny. These 2 feed I've just made mention of, they are all foreign. So start feeding your catfish with 1.5 mm or 1.8 mm. So with this now, the actual number of feed you need in the first month is going to be 1.5 mm. Start it with them. When they finish 1.5 mm, before you start feeding them with the 2 mm. So that will increase the bags of feed from 67 to 68. Now, how do you manage this very feeding? Where you will make use of both the local and the foreign feed in order to reduce your costs. So when you are being given your fish, you start with 1.5 mm, let it be what? Foreign. You also feed them with the 2 mm, let it also be foreign. From your 3 mm, start using the local feed. Start using the local feed. So use the local feed until 9 mm. So when you do this, you'll be able to reduce your cost and maximize what? Your profit. Because in this business, it is profit that you are actually targeting, not that you just want to be rearing fish. It's a business and you must treat it as such. So with this now, I hope you've been able to understand how you can go about feeding your fish when you are making your preparation. So I'm using this 1000 fingernail or juvenile as a standard. If you don't have enough space, use this very standard to break it down. If it's 500 you are starting, break it down. If it's 200, break it down. But if you